Hi, my name is Sapphire Star. Welcome to my world. This is part 3 of how do I travel so often. Part 1, I talked about how I got out of debt. Part 2, I talk about how I save and budget to be able to travel as often as I do. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to leverage good credit to travel for practically free. So in part 1, let me rewind that. So there's 65% of your credit score is impacted by your payment history and your credit utilization, right? So by me paying off my debt, I cut up my credit cards. Actually, I cut up my credit cards. I didn't close them. I cut up my credit cards and I paid my bills on time. And because I wasn't using my credit cards, naturally my utilization was below 30%. So by me getting out of debt and paying down my credit card debt, by default, I was increasing my credit score, right? So in this journey of wanting to travel whenever, wherever, I discovered that with a good credit score, and when I say good, I mean good to excellent, that's a credit score of 720 or higher, you can travel for practically free using credit card. And I call it the credit game. And I do go more in depth about how I work this process to my advantage in my new book, Live Freely, Freedom to Work Whenever, Wherever You Want, how to create residual income and make passive income work for you. Now, I'm not telling you to go into debt to do this. Obviously, that's not a smart or wise choice. However, once you learn a disciplined habit of paying down your credit, keeping your credit limit below 30%, paying your bills on time, you now have the power to leverage that. Because when I started this, you have credit card companies that will give you bonus reward points, right? So you can get travel points, you can get points for accommodation, flight, excursions, airport lounge. You can get cash back rewards. So my first credit cards that I started using in the credit game, it was the Chase series. So I had the Chase Freedom, Chase Sapphire, and the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Now with those 3 credit cards, I had a combined bonus reward points of over $2,000 when you convert the points into dollars, right? And that was, I was able to, like I say, use that for flights, accommodation, Uber credits, airport lounge credits, global entry, TSA pre-check. So all that came with these credit cards. And how the credit game worked basically is that, and again, I have to stress this, that's important to have a spending plan. It's important to have a habit of budgeting your money every month, basically telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Shouts out to Dave Ramsey. So with a budget, right, you have your income, you have your expenses, and every month you're going to pay these basic living expenses, right? You're going to pay your rent, your utilities, transportation. You're going to take care of those things anyway, right? So what I did was I used my credit card to pay my expenses that I allotted for my budget, and then at the end of the month, I took my income and I paid the credit card off. So I never carried a balance. I never had to worry about paying interest, right? Because that's the main thing about credit cards is that, or credit card debt is you're paying interest, right? But I never carried a balance. So every month when I did my budget, I used my credit card. And then at the end of the 30 days, I paid that balance off. And by doing that, because most of these credit card reward bonus requirements, they require a minimum spend. And if you think about it, if you have your budget, those minimum spends are pretty easy to meet if you're already paying for things anyway, right? So that's essentially how I was able to travel to 20 different countries, 4 different continents for practically free by leveraging credit. And another great way to use credit to make passive income, right? Another way to do that is, as you're building your credit, you're building your credit score, you can then qualify for not only bonus travel and bonus cash, you can also qualify for deferred interest. So how does that work for you? Say for instance, like for me example, right? I want to travel for 3 or 4 months, right? So if I get a credit card that's deferred interest, for example, I have a Bank of America credit card that has an 18-month no interest plan, right? So that basically means for 18 months, a year and a half, I can use this credit card. Keep in mind, you have to pay a minimum payment, and also remember your utilization. You want to keep your utilization 30% below your credit limit. So I can essentially live off this credit card, right? Pay the minimum, not pay any interest, and then at the end of the 18 months, pay that off. So how can you use that to make passive income? Say for instance, you want to start a business, right? This is giving you a year and a half of working capital to start your business, because your business is what? It's an investment. An investment is what? An investment is something that you buy into in hopes of a return. So if you have a profitable idea, a passion that you turn into a profit or a profitable side hustle, you can essentially use that, your business or your side hustle, and then pay your credit card off in 18 months. So that has bought you time to create income to now pay that off. And that's how you can use your credit card to create and make passive income. Because a lot of us, sometimes we don't have the capital. If you want to start a t-shirt business, or if you want to write a book, if you want to start a YouTube channel, some of these things, even though they don't require a lot of startup money, but what if you're at zero? At least with a credit limit, you now have working capital that you can use interest-free to invest in your business idea, right? And then you can use that money that you make and then pay your credit card off. Like, who doesn't want an interest-free